The first strike. It began on the outer rim, in a colony so small it barely registered on the galactic maps. A quiet settlement of farmers and engineers, human families who thought they were far enough from the center of war to live in peace. But peace is the sweetest prey. The Xyrath came like a storm of razors. Their warships fell upon the colony without warning. Orbital fire reduced homes, schools, and outposts into molten glass. Survivors ran to bunkers only to find them pried open, their screams echoing across comm channels before being cut short. The Xyrath general broadcast his triumph. "This is the fate of your fragile species. Earth cannot protect its children. They are prey, nothing more." A human envoy who attempted to negotiate was executed live, his blood spilled on the alien flagstone. The galaxy watched, and many believed the Xyrath were right. Humans were young, untested, too civilized to answer in kind. The colony burned, the stars bore witness, and the galaxy turned its gaze away, thinking nothing more would follow. They were wrong. Aye, arrogance of the victors. The Xyrath feasted on their triumph. Their fleets drifted through conquered skies, mocking the humans they had slaughtered. Soldiers bragged in taverns across neutral ports, their claws tapping glasses as they told the tale of the crying apes. "Earth will protest, of course," one commander sneered. "But they lack the claws for vengeance. They build, they talk, they trade, yet they do not strike." Others laughed, recalling humans sending envoys of peace instead of blades. To the Xyrath, restraint was weakness. And so, in their arrogance, they broadcast the footage of the massacre across galactic channels, letting every civilization know that humanity was powerless to defend its own. Even allies turned uneasy. Some distanced themselves from Earth, fearing association with a species too timid to defend its honor. But in the shadows of Sol, silence thickened. For humanity's patience is not endless. It is long and it is dangerous. The silence before the storm. For 3 weeks there was nothing. No threats, no retaliation, no fleet movements that anyone could trace. The galaxy thought humanity had bowed its head, mourning its dead but unwilling to bleed further. And then silence cracked. The first whispers came from deep space beacons. Entire Xyrath patrols had vanished without a trace. Their signals cut mid-sentence, their warships found later, hulls torn open, crews missing, reactors gutted with surgical precision. On the comnets, an unmarked transmission echoed. "This is Earth. You drew first blood, now we answer." The words were cold, without flourish, but they spread faster than fire in dry fields. From the Sol system, fleets began to move. Not the small defense patrols the galaxy had catalogued, but something older, larger, darker. Dreadnoughts whose existence was dismissed as rumor lit their engines, blotting out stars as they emerged. Humanity had been watching, preparing, and when the galaxy thought them weakest, they revealed teeth sharper than warlords had ever dreamed. The shattering response. The first counterstrike came swift and merciless. A Xyrath fortress world, shielded and armed for centuries, blinked in confusion as the sky above it dimmed. Human warships emerged in formation, rows upon rows stretching across the horizon. They did not open comms. They did not demand surrender. They simply began. Orbital bombardments rained like judgment. Their weapons did not scorch randomly. They carved cities with surgical fury, collapsing command hubs, silencing orbital cannons, shattering the fleets docked in port before they could lift a claw in defense. The galaxy watched the feeds with horror. The humans had not come to reclaim a colony. They had come to erase the stain of insult with blood. Xyrath broadcasts filled the air with desperation. They fight like no species we've faced. They do not roar, they do not chant, they execute. Entire fleets broke under the human advance. Their ships were not the fastest, nor the flashiest, but they were relentless. They struck with brutal coordination, as though every vessel shared a single mind bent on annihilation. And then came the soldiers. Where humans landed, silence followed. Their armored infantry moved like storms of iron, faceless behind helmets, wordless as they advanced. Xyrath garrisons collapsed in hours. Survivors whispered of men and women who fought without fear, who did not retreat, who hunted not for glory but for justice soaked in blood. When suns went dark. The climax came at the siege of Drazkor, the Xyrath capital world. Their fleets massed in orbit, thousands of ships bristling with weapons, a living wall of fire and arrogance. The Xyrath High Warlord declared, "Let them come. Today the galaxy learns apes cannot challenge predators." But the galaxy did not learn that lesson. They learned another. When the humans arrived, they came not with a fleet, but with an armada so vast it eclipsed the system's twin suns. Waves upon waves of ships filled the void, blotting out light. The sheer sight of it broke lesser species watching from afar. The battle was not a battle, it was slaughter. Human dreadnoughts cut through enemy lines with beams so powerful they split planets' crusts. Swarms of drones blackened the void, overwhelming defenses in coordinated silence. The Xyrath fought, but for every human ship they felled, 10 more surged forward. And then, in an act that froze the galaxy, Earth unleashed the Judgment Protocol. From orbit, controlled detonations ignited Drazkor's upper atmosphere, choking skis in firestorms that devoured entire continents. It was not enough to defeat the Xyrath. They had to be broken so completely that memory itself would ache. Billions perished. The capital fell. The High Warlord's last transmission was not defiance but disbelief. They were supposed to be prey. Aftermath of silence. When the fires dimmed and the fleets withdrew, what remained was not victory. It was warning. The humans did not claim territory. They did not enslave survivors. They left ruins where arrogance once stood and silence where boasting once echoed. The galaxy trembled. Species that had once mocked Earth now whispered their name with dread. Stations buzzed with a single phrase, "Never provoke Earth again." Merchants stopped joking about soft humans. Warlords ceased calling them civilized weaklings. Even empires older than humanity reassessed their calculus, realizing they had witnessed something terrifying. A young race with patience infinite, but vengeance absolute. And in the ruins of 1,000 Xyrath worlds, one truth burned brighter than the suns they had darkened. It was not fleets or weapons that made the galaxy bleed. It was one will, one decision, one human who looked upon ashes and chose not restraint, not diplomacy, but retribution. The human who made the galaxy bleed.